Alright, squad, I'm taking over, and now we're going to try to steer this ship into the right course.
But Dad, I was supposed to be the leader of this game.
True, but you've rendered yourself a very, very incapable, uncharismatic leader so far, so...
Well, I only had 4 parts to prove myself.
Don't worry, I'm sure I will not be inconvenienced somewhere in this game that to the point where I'll be off screen. Don't worry, you'll be fine. But anyway, from this point on, we'll be starting every part in the title screen because you actually get close-ups of various characters in the title screen at random. So I'll be trying to showing off as much as I can.
Don't worry, guys. You still get to play as good old JD here. Okay, here's one thing that I find weird. Why not just give people the choice of who to play as in single-player campaigns? I know it's possible.
Co-op.
War for Cybertron literally allows you to pick which player you and your co-players play as. So why not give the choice for the single-player campaign?
Because JD is the discount Nathan Drake that the game is trying to sell us on. So
honestly, I don't even get a Nathan Drake vibe from him.
Yeah, definitely lacks the constant barrage of jokes to trying to cope with the situation.
If he gave me any inklings, I guess it's kind of a Chris Redfield vibe.
Yeah, but definitely much more similar to Chris, I can say that.
And yet, even still, he's not as iconic.
Don't worry,
just to know.
Don't worry, Teo. The joke, JD's bad jokes will come.
But no, just a question. Can JD punch multiple times a rock?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn it.
Oh.
Alright, so basically, Jin is literally burning down Marcus's mansion. Okay, I don't care if you're a minister. You're literally committing murder right now, or at the very least attempting murder right now.
On top of Arston, unless maybe there's more to this plot than meets the eye.
I mean,
What?
as if she wasn't unlikable enough already. I mean, gotta give the colonel some credit. At the very least, he didn't try to burn down a house.
I mean, you know, here's the thing about Jin. They try to open her up with that sympathetic speech that she gives at the start of this game, only to immediately show that, yeah, she's unlikable.
Oh.
Okay. When's the last time you cleaned up out there? You could grab a rake, you know. I'll take that under advisement, Chief. Do you even visit her anymore?
Yeah, I don't think it's right at the time, JD.
Yeah, not. Can we do this some other time, maybe?
Sorry about the leaves, Chief.
See what I mean about not liking this cliche of, oh, son and father, whatever, kid and parent are bitter towards each other. I mean, it can be done well, but like the old tired protagonist cliche, more often than not, it's just annoying.
Yeah, in this game,
just a time waster until eventually they get back together.
And you'd think this game would let this die at this game, but no. When we get back to to Gears 5, they're still doing it. So.
And that's the thing, though. And that's the thing, though. Their bitterness is not necessarily continued from this game, but it's because of a whole new, different issue. So, not only did they continue a trend that really didn't need to happen, but they had to create a new conflict for it to happen.
Damn.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah, shit, that's how I feel right now.
Alright.
So is Marcus Destiny watching every place he actually inhabited burn down to a crisp?
Apparently,
so
yeah.
it would seem, Teo. Jeez.
Alright, everybody. Prepare yourselves because this is the part where, let's just say, this is the fifth part. When I was playing this for the first time, this is where we get to the first time where this game genuinely pissed me off from a narrative standpoint because of what they do to Marcus. Joe and Joe already know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the game's been pretty mediocre already, but this is where it really starts to get.
Not just that, the pace has been all over the place. It has a very slow start, but now we're moving very fast, actually.
Yeah.
So the big question, oh, there you go, I was about to ask, can you actually saw the robots? I mean, yes, you can.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Ask and you shall receive, too.
In this To be fair, Paige has done that before in this playthrough.
True,
but
my
yeah,
bad.
you can. I mean, heck, remember, Marcus literally saw the robot that was
True,
showing
yes,
up Jin's face. Yeah.
The problem is that, like we've talked about in previous games, this was the game where the Coalition started downgrading the gore, and the gore became more cartoonish rather than the detailed Mortal Kombat style of gore.
I wouldn't
Having
even
your
say
enemies be mostly robots is already a start, basically, because you're applying the good old PG-13 logic. You know, if it's robots, you can go to town, because there's no blood and shit.
I wouldn't say that.
They don't seem to even use oil as replacement for blood.
Let me put it like this. It's not so much it went cartoonish, but it went Dead Rising 4 with the gore here. Dead Rising 4, for those who don't know, is infamous for really downgrading the detail of the gore here, where somebody literally did a comparison between it and the first Dead Rising game. The first Dead Rising game, which went to great lengths of detail to show the different ways people would be chopped up or how the blood would splatter here, compared to Dead Rising 4, which is just
here you go.
generic
It's right.
blood.
The objective now is head towards the barn. That's where it happens.
Oh, no.
Head towards the.
We still have to get through this garden, though. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah. Okay, never mind. You got like 2 more minutes or so. I'll sing it out. Continue, Jova. Continue then.
Dead Rising 4 is basically generic blood spot there, generic blood spot there, and it looks so crappy compared to Dead Rising 1. Mind you, Dead Rising 4 was supposed to be...
Marcus, I don't think tomatoes are your high priorities right now.
Like Shepard Gaming said in his Gears 5 is not a Gears of War, a true Gears of War game video. I realize that some people may think that us wanting the detailed bloody gore can be seen as a fetish or something, but here's the thing, like Jopo once said, there's an art to gore as well, where in Gears in particular, the gore was there to properly sell the grim atmosphere that the games were trying to convey. You know, you're not fighting cartoon puppets, you're fighting real living things. You know, it helped sell the universe.
Here's my overall.
As well as looking cool, that helps too.
Here's my main point. If the first game can manage to do it, why would you downgrade?
The Coalition actually specified why. The Coalition specifically said that, according to them, adding back the original gore would be a huge. It would require a huge amount of resources that they don't think is worth it, because it doesn't impact the game.
That just seems like a PR reason of saying we don't want to.
Exactly.
I mean, if they just say we don't want to do it, then...
Even then, it sounds like we're too lazy to do it.
Exactly my point. Like, again, when a much older game has more detail than your newer game, I'm sorry, no matter what excuse you can come up with, you're always going to have the caveat that you are technically putting in less work here and there, and it will make you come up as lazy.
Not just that, Unreal 4 is a much easier engine to develop with than Unreal 3. Like, you're telling me that making blood and gore splatter is that taxing on you. That just sounds to me like you're not good as a developer.
Allow me to translate that statement for you, Jova. Phil Spencer really wants to make Microsoft very widely appealing to people of all ages, including kids. Therefore, we're going to try to make sure the Fortnite kids can play Gears 2.
Which reminds me, wasn't Gears 4 still rated M?
Yeah, and 5 is as well. The problem is, Jova, they even have options to disable the swear word so that parents can disable that stuff for their kids.
Why making it rated M in the first place?
I don't know.
Okay.
Alright, guys, it's listening now.
Yeah, there we go.
This is dumb and it pisses me off, but let's just watch. Oh wait, no, I forgot. We're still gonna have to fight these guys first.
Okay.
But it's right after this confrontation, though.
Let me guess. This It's like that scene in Jurassic Park 3 where the big giant monster can't get through.
Okay, well, let me put it like this, Webs. You know how back in the original trilogy, Marcus, being a military sergeant and all, was very good about coming up with plans when things got tough, right?
Yes, he comes over with plans,
Apparently,
and the game tries to put it down to he's really rusty with his arms.
nah, that would be better actually.
honestly,
Let's just say,
James-
apparently Tom Bissell didn't get that memo. That's all I'll say for now.
Or he was
Anyway.
a fan of Twister.
Oh god, yes. Anyway, so wait. So they literally have censorship options in this game. So here's the question. Why not have the actual gore detail, and then if people supposedly are uncomfortable with that, just let them turn the more detailed gore off.
That's all.
Oh wait, that's right, because they didn't want to.
Brutal Legend.
Oh, here you go. Here's the scene. So Marcus's plan during this Twister is just stay here in this wooden barn.
Wait,
You got a barn. It's made
Hold
out
on.
of wood.
Even she's saying it. Yeah. No, it won't, Marcus. What are you talking about?
To die.
Fine job of holding.
What the? What?
Now, okay. Now this would probably be the part where Marcus then reveals that, you know, he has a secret basement level. If this game were clever, he doesn't.
And guess what? And guess what? The characters even try to question him about this, and he actually check what his response is.
How did you guys not get sucked up?
Because plot character immunity.
Oh, literally, they never got
Oh,
sucked
here you go,
up.
hold on.
Not a goddamn word.
Fuck
No, I'm
off,
sorry.
game. Fuck off,
just
game.
not just that. The moment the airplane crashed, the wind flare just stopped.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was going on. It should be still going on.
I'm sorry, Tio, but we're operating on Game of Thrones season 8 logic now.
Not just that. Like you're doing this just to make the point of derpy derp. Marcus is not in shape anymore.
It's like I
Okay,
said, one
I
of
have
the
good-
major issues with this game is that it operates on the sense of, oh, the old guard is all wrong and they need to learn the new ways.
Okay, I have good news for everybody. The good news is that Marcus Phoenix is not in this game. I don't know who this old moron is, but since he just did something completely moronic and stupid that Marcus would never do, clearly this is not Marcus Phoenix. It's
I like the kind of joke that they're going for, but it was
It's
just
his
stupid.
it's his twin brother Bark.
Yes, Shiroi. Yes, Shiroi.
No, I like the kind of joke that they were going for, but it was just bad.
Okay.
that-
You see, guys. Wibs. What happened was this is actually an old oboe who found who killed Marcus and took over his mansion and even is using his clothes and even imitating his voice. I shall nickname him Crazy. Crazy asshole. We'll go with crazy asshole.
So it's like the visit now, is it?
All right. So crazy asshole is gonna take us somewhere. Let's see what it is. Go ahead.
We'll
Jova.
explain the beard.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it is one scene, but that one scene really is a showcase of everything wrong with this idea of shoving out the old guard just for the new and improved squad while pretending like the old one is all flawed and stuff. But yes, Marcus does get some awesome scenes in these games, but the scene where he flubs up like that and his only excuse being not a goddamn word, that's just clumsy and
Again, not to mention the fact that the weather has a great impeccable timing just to prove the point of JD and the others. Because the moment it stops being convenient, aka when the actual airplane crashes and the barn actually still holds, making Marcus proving the point of Marcus, the wind flare just stops.
You see, Teo, God hates Marcus, and he did that specifically just to make Marcus look stupid.
honestly, okay, we need to analyze the scene for a bit here. Was Marcus right or was he wrong? Because yes, the shed didn't hold, but technically nothing bad happened to them while they were in the shed. So
okay.
Is that scene trying to say that Marcus was right because they
It's a
survived?
Schrodinger's bar.
Okay, Rod, when Tom presented you the script and you read that line in it, that's when you should have known that you should have fired Tom Bissell. Just saying.
Okay, honest question though. is this scene trying to suggest that Marcus was wrong or right? Because they technically did survive, but then the scene has that stupid joke about not a goddamn word like he was wrong. But again, they survived, so what is the scene trying to convey? Was he wrong about the shed not holding, or was he right because they made it out fine?
It's like you yourself said, Jova. Tom Bissell wants us to really like the new characters. However, since people already are so attached to Marcus, he's intentionally making him look dumb so that people will like the others more instead.
Not to mention, the game actually makes it a proper full-fledged cutscenes, while most of the dialogue in the game is conveyed through, gameplay alone without changing too much the perspective. So there was actually dedication and thought into this. It probably had to also pass through a lot of scrutiny.
Imagine if during the last 2 episodes of the Layton anime, Herschel for some reason screwed up every puzzle and Kat had to solve everything on her own instead of them working together like they should.
Well, according to Kat herself, he did got like one thing wrong, but it was literally it.
Yeah, but that's it. One.
And even Kat doesn't
even hold it against him or
No,
anything.
and even then, Kat herself got something wrong during the final case of the game. So it's not like he tried to make her seem flawless. He also did make the point that she made a mistake. She herself points it out.
Not just that, even dividing the generational gap, actually quite a couple of the episodes have Kat eventually failing, mostly for the sake of comedy, because to make the point of explaining what the twist of the episode is or the backstory of the character in question. So it's not like she's been passed on as a Mary Sue.
No.
You really want to know? Thousands. Then it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long night, guys.
That's Mark. That's our heroes.
Get it, guys? Now, okay. This could have been an interesting topic to touch on the story. The idea between old versus new, with how the newer version of the cog now use robots in the thousands as opposed to trusty old humans here and there. It seems like a good setup for a man versus machine sort of story here and there, showing, the benefits of both sides here and there, and how the new cog have kind of just sold out to the newer tech, while not realizing the benefits that the old still had. That would have been an interesting idea, but they don't really run with it.
No.
Also, I'll mention later.
Come on, we're almost there.
All right.
I forgot how big this place was.
Yeah, well, it's getting smaller by the moment.
Hey, you hear that?
Always looking alive, are you, Jay?
Hey, Kate and Del, do you guys have anything to contribute to this whole situation?
Well, Del just said that this place is bigger than he remembered, so...
That's
Hell,
nice,
hey,
I guess.
Hey, it's still more than Kate.
Yeah, Kate is just kind of... Yeah, like she always said in the previous part, Kate is just standing there.
Okay. I'm gonna be quite honest. Del contributes more to the dialogue than Kate does.
There you go. There's your contribution.
I'll be quite honest. In this game, I'd argue even Del has more character than Kate. Again, until the last act. But let's just say that's character being brute forced onto Kate in a so unsubtle way.
It's gonna become like the only real major issue I have with the way they handle Del in this game is how I'll get to it later on. But later on, there's gonna be moments where they intentionally have, even though Del is supposed to be the smart one, he's they still have him sometimes do stupid things. Like, let's just say there's gonna be a certain rock paper scissors joke that's just dumb and stupid.
Oh, that one.
And move on.
But no, another thing that I noticed, I know that technically speaking we aren't completely deep into the game, but the enemy variety, even for the BDs, is staggeringly low. Like you get the ball enemies, the standard droids, the red ones with the big gun, the blue one, if I recall correctly, and maybe I think also the yellow one, but that's it. And they all look the same, the bipedal one, I mean. Compared to the locals, they have also all the mounts, the different armaments, the monsters, the Brumax, all that shit.
Well, if it helps you to, after we finish Act 2, we're not gonna have to deal with the DBs anymore.
Wait, form at the same time.
Could you repeat that, please?
You're telling me that we don't like fight those and the swarm at the same time?
No. Basically, when the real bad guys come in, you guys probably already know who it is. The game pretty much forgets about the DB's existence. Forgot a lot of it. They
could have used that to make a point, like saying, "Oh, it's a menace too great for humanity, so you are actually supported by DBs," or maybe the governess. The governess is still too stubborn and still tries to chase you and send them to fight you, despite being like flanked by this woman at the same time. But I guess no.
This woman is so completely cartoonishly unreasonable. What makes you think we're the ones... Okay, here's the thing. You know how she's accusing us of quote-unquote taking her people? The game, first of all, the game never gives us a good, satisfactory reason why she thinks we're the ones doing it. Spoilers, we're not. It's the bad guys that are doing it.
What does that even mean, taking her people?
Basically, Theo, the real bad guys of this game have been kidnapping people for reasons that we haven't seen yet, but we're gonna find out later.
Well, what does taking the fabricator means?
No, the fabricator has nothing to do with it. The fabricator it was just there as an excuse for them to get it so that we can have the RTS sections.
Oh, but I thought when she accused them while having the fabricator, it was because they took the fabricator.
No. But Theo, she literally said, and I quote, "I don't give a damn about the goddamn fabricator." So.
No.
Not really, no.
Weird.
Sorry. Well, Theo, that's kind of how Tom Bissell does things in this series. Sorry.
Weird.
But yeah, she has no reason, absolutely no reason to think we're the ones doing that. And yet she still accuses us for absolutely no reason. And the game never actually explains how she came to this conclusion. You know?
Well, don't you see, guys, we gotta accuse them because
we need some.
They're contractually obligated.
Scapegoating.
The real.
Yeah, scapegoated.
The real bad guys are not around yet, but we need some enemies to get.
I'm sorry. That helicopter was literally shooting at the wall. What were they even trying to accomplish?
Yeah, it just comes across as okay. We need to have some kind of enemy between the first in the first two acts because the real ones are still asleep. So what do we do? Let's have the government go on after our asses. There you go. That works.
I gotta say, thank goodness that all this stuff is manned by robots and not humans, so that our heroes don't have to grapple with the possible challenges of going up against, fellow humans.
Don't worry, Theo. Knowing this game, it will probably only affect markers anyway. So.
Again, okay. Again, I get it. Robots over humans and the benefits and all that. And I guess I could see it as, Jin's way of trying to reduce human casualties. But something about it just feels cheap.
Alright, let's continue.
Have I missed anything?
Not really, no.
We shot down a helicopter.
So, curiosity question. Do you have a button dedicated to toggle on and off the flashlight? Or it's automatic?
I think it's automatic if I remember correctly. Oh, wait. Is it? No, I think there is a button for it, but I barely use it though. So.
Oh wow, it's actually been a while since we saw a branching path.
Well, taking a cue from Gears 2 and 3, once again we have alternate ways of tackling the same section. Again, like I said, the gameplay of this game is basically just the gameplay of 3 again, which is not a problem. Necessarily, it's just that it does go a long way in making the game feel like it's a bit behind the times because like by the time we got to the Xbox One, it's a 1 gen later, so you'd think they would come up with something to something to add on to it, kind of like how when Uncharted moved to the PS4, they added the grappling hook, which gave a whole new layer of ways you can move about in the multiplayer and even in the kind of set pieces you can have in the single player. But this game doesn't really do any of that. I guess 5 is the one that's supposed to be doing that kind of shit, but we'll get to it.
Reminds me of how Halo Infinite added in a grappling hook.
See if there's a way to open it from your side.
Well, I don't really know anything about Halo to properly comment on that, so.
just to let you in, the grappling hook is not a norm. So that is a new addition to the gameplay.
Well, Halo is meant to be a first-person shooter, so I can assume it probably wouldn't really... It would be a bit out of place to have a grappling hook in there. I mean, with Metroid it works to have something like that, but in Halo I'm assuming
Metroid
probably
was
not.
also born as a platformer to begin with.
Sure. It's just I know I'm just thinking of Metroid Prime when I say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Metroid Prime also retains some elements of platforming.
Sure. It's they themselves said back when the first game was first seeing sold to us in the GameCube 2, they tried to Nintendo made double sure to say this is not a first-person shooter, it's a first-person adventure. But and to be fair, they are right. So that's fine by me.
You're becoming hysterical. Alright. Well, thank you, magic exploding red barrels.
More of them coming. All right, I will give it this. I will give it this for the purpose of well, like I said, I've already explained why I'm not a fan of the art direction specifically, but just judging it on its own merits, the game does look gorgeous on its own merits. It's basically a showpiece for the Unreal Engine 4, one of the first ones, in fact, which is appropriate considering its gears. Basically, sure. This is one of the big reason why Epic Games created this franchise to begin with was because they wanted to have a big showcase for what the Unreal Engine can do. And Uncharted, and Gears 4 is is another great example of that. It is for 2016 standards, it's a fantastic showpiece for the Unreal Engine 4. As you can see, the weather effects look really good. This set piece with the wind flare is very visually appealing, striking. So yeah, on its own merits, the visuals look really good. They don't look how they should because this series has a very specific art direction, but on its own merits, it does look really good. Even on the original Xbox One, which is where I'm playing it.
We've got a guardian.
Yeah, I could hear it thanks to the dubstep.
You know, sawing these robots is nowhere near as satisfying as sawing the Locust.
I think the droids in the Star Wars prequels had more personality.
They did. Like, seriously, I think there are multiple issues with using robots as your typical moves. Unless, you know, you're in something like a Mega Man game or a Star Wars prequel game, or, again, a game that makes the robots have a lot of personality to them here and there.
Well, Mega Man is heavily inspired by Astro Boy, which was defined by implementing robots in that cartoonish way. So of course it was going to be a completely. But this is trying to be this is supposed to be a more grounded.
Pedro, I'm not talking about the cartoony aspect. I'm talking about robots with character to them.
Sure.
The type of personality. I do believe, Jova, that too can be influenced by the art style.
It can, but I'm not talking about that sort of case. I'm just basically speaking on basic terms here. The idea of, you know, the Mooks having a personality here. These robots are autonomous. They're pretty much being controlled by Jin and company.
Jesus.
According to Ross Ferguson, Jova. Yeah, this is another gimmick. Sometimes it will be a storm wall. Basically, this is actually one of the better new gameplay elements of the game, which unfortunately does not return for 5. Basically, you have to pay attention to. You have to avoid the lightning and try your best to make sure you don't get it. Basically, so take cover in case you need to, and whenever you see an opening, just try to run. And there are cover set pieces so you can make good use of them. This is actually this is a good step in the right direction. This is a good step in the right direction. I kind of wish the game would do more stuff like this more often.
It's telling me to be no one's slave. Oh.
Sorry, Teo. Sophia is already dead by this point.
He's talking about the lightning.
Well, yeah, Ali Hillis, Joe.
True, but...
Okay.
Okay, to the game's credit, now we're actually going to get what is, in my opinion, the best set piece of the game.
Oh, it's trying to recreate that siege scene in Resident Evil 4.
Not really. Just watch. You're probably wondering, why did Marcus want to come here so badly?
Oh, let me guess, the punch is like they have a vehicle or something.
Very good too.
Or the other two people holy you, but screw them.
Oh, motorcycles.
Not gonna lie.
I mean, I
is
was
pretty
expecting
cool.
more of those exoskeletons from 3, but sure, why not?
The idea is for quick and evasive action.
The Great Escape, of course.
Alright,
You're
time
not
to,
Steve McQueen, JD.
time to finish Act 2.
Not really.
Alright, so this is at the same time both a motorcycle set piece as well as a boss battle. We have to take down that plane.
Again,
Oh,
this is actually
does
pretty
this big
nifty.
have a weapon mounted on it?
Uh,
Because I do believe the arsenal that our heroes have at the moment is not really suited for anti-air gun.
Okay, so we escaped from them.
well, it's well, Tail. It looks cool, so let's just do it anyway.
So they're following
So
the
it's like in the
J.J. Abrams school of
It's
life.
like in the Tintin video game where
Yeah,
you
the
take
rule-
down a helicopter with a slingshot.
The rule of cool has been a thing for decades. That's not really a JJ thing. But anyway,
Well, I mean, he seems to do
Oh,
it
you're
with that
serious? Automatic pistol.
Tax
See,
dollars
that's
at
my,
work, gentlemen.
That's my little rule. While they may not necessarily, while any person may not necessarily have invented said rule of Hollywood in general, if they do it the most recently, just name the rule after them.
No, I'm pretty sure it's
I don't know.
Phoenix, the strongest you can
Anyway, so like Pedro said, this is actually one of the kind of spruces and spices things up gameplay-wise here and there.
it's
I
a,
say it is
Do it in the
it
game.
is something that the franchise has not done at this point. So there is some novelty factor, at least I say.
It's awesome.
It's ludicrous that you know the game expects you to take down the vulture with Marco's weapon, which is clearly not suited against you know air vehicles.
indeed.
Motorcycle has the semi-automatic weapon for cleaning out the obstacle, and Marcus was holding a rocket launcher.
They had an anti-air vehicle. Now, taking out this helicopter, that's more believable. But taking out the vulture, I see what you mean, especially considering how they hype up the vulture as this amazing deadly vehicle of Jin's.
This is like the beginning of a Terminator Salvation video game where you take down an HK with a simple Uzi gun.
Well, it's the coolest thing in this game, so I'll take it.
Does Terminator Resistance have anything like that?
Sorry, Graves?
Does Terminator Resistance have anything like that?
No, you actually, in order to defeat bigger enemies, you do need weapons of higher caliber. So, no, you cannot cheese your way through.
I will also give it that. I will also give, as I usually do, that I would like to also emphasize that when it comes to my problems with the writing and the characters, the voice actors are once again not the problem. The voice actors are doing the best they can with what they're given.
Okay. So to be fair, you do start off by attacking weak points of the ship that are more vulnerable to simple bullet fire here. So that's fair enough.
Yeah.
What does get a bit weird is how that does it.
No, not Barry the pilot.
The mighty air.
Wrong
air
game,
ve-
Dibs.
The mighty strongest air vehicle with the cog and to offer.
Sorry,
Don't worry, Tio. The plane's still shooting at us.
don't worry, Dibs. This game will not try to make you feel sorry for a random pilot.
How many
wait.
engines does this thing have?
However, it takes according to how they design the set piece.
Oh,
So yeah, this thing can literally
We already
get...
have.
No, but we have to shoot the secondary engines, as it says there in the top left
Yeah.
corner.
not the wings.
That one right there. See, it's even pointing.
Yeah, shoot here, you dipshit.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Already kind of.
Now it's coming down forever.
Again, this is actually a really good set piece, so I actually do like it. It's visually stimulating and it's fun to shoot it. So cool.
Let me guess, it's the only one in the game.
Exactly. Very good. This. Act
Almost
3,
midnight.
Chapter 1, Almost Midnight.
You know, if you're trying to be Uncharted, at least get it right.
Well, they did get it right. It's just that this is the only
it's
one.
It's just Uncharted. Each Uncharted game has more than just that one set.
Almost midnight doesn't mean it was midnight.
Oh, great! Now you're copying Ace Attorney.
Almost is almost.
Alright, listen. Yeah.
Why?
Because why?
The COG dumped a few thousand locust bodies in there after the war.
Oh.
If your swarm's related to the grubs, we'll find out there.
Yeah, you can probably guess what the real villains of this game are by this point.
Don't
Let me guess,
worry.
it's a secret locust sleeper cell.
Yes, basically, everybody. The locusts
been there?
are back. Don't ask me how that happens. The game never really get. The game never really get.
It's just like the Daleks in Doctor Who.
Well, okay, to be
Well,
fair...
I mean, the Daleks have an excuse, but you know, because
They honestly
Doctor's about
sorry.
time travel. Doctor's
No,
about time travel,
I gotta know.
and B,
Do you think
yeah, well,
the
there's
locusts are
and
back?
B, you know, I mean, Daleks, you know, Daleks have plenty of cells everywhere.
Oh,
Okay,
that's the thing, Dweebs. Every single season of Doctor Who is being hyped up, and the Doctor is like, "Oh, this time I erased you permanently. There's no coming back from these."
Yes.
And inevitably they come back.
Remember, Tio, if we go one season without using the Daleks,
The copyright expires. Yeah.
You were saying, Jova?
now, to be fair, we do get something of a slight explanation as
I'm
to
sure
why
we'll
the
find
locusts
out.
are back. That has
Sound
to
like
do with the revelation that
did.
comes near the end of this game.
That's the thing,
The
Jova.
problem is that revelation is,
Pretty sure that's
dare I
everything.
say, the pinnacle of retcon avenue stupidity.
Well, Marcus just told us that it's a zone where the Cogs dumped a lot of locust bodies after the war, so maybe there is something that has managed to bring them back to life. It's like connected to those crystal protrusions they have.
My problem.
Oh, there's something, all right, but let's
He-
just
he-
say it's probably not what you're expecting.
Here's my problem. That's the thing too. Later on, we're even gonna get a line. Don't worry, don't worry. I won't reveal context. But later on, we're literally gonna get a line that literally spells out the locust never died. So basically, what you're telling me, Rod and Tom, is that Adam's sacrifice was for nothing. Good job. Good job.
Well, the lamb,
great.
the lamb
It's-
that got destroyed permanently at the very least. So there's that.
So, actually,
Yeah.
no.
Yes,
Actually, no.
Tio.
Technically, Rise of Skywalker ripped this ending off. But,
Yes, Tio. It would sure be a shame if the Lambent were back as well, now wouldn't it?
Well, that doesn't. That is weird because the lambent depend on the emotion, which was something that was poisoning humanity as well. So bringing that back would be counterproductive.
The one thing I don't want you guys to bring back from the original trilogy, and it's the one thing you bring back.
It's
Wow.
like a cat threatening to drop something from your shelf.
Tone
Don't
that-
do it. Don't do it. And then
They're
don't.
going to do
I'ma
it.
do
It's
it.
useless. It's-
Tone deaf much? Just saying.
Or maybe just deaf.
Don't
No.
worry, guys. It's going to get worse.
All right.
Right,
See,
see you in the next part where.
see you in the next part for Gears of War.
Stuff.
Gears of War: The Locust Awaken. All right. See you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.